Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've done this, so I really hope I still remember how. I had to go through and actually play with my buttons and make sure that everything worked. I think it works. Hopefully, it sounds okay. If it doesn't, let me know and I'll tweak audio as needed. Hopefully, it's loud enough. Volume good to the one person who's paying attention. Um, Hopefully, it looks like those meters are looking fine. All right, I'm just going to assume my audio is good unless someone complains. All right. So I haven't been able to stream for a while. There's been a lot going on, but I was working on a little side project for a friend, and I'm like, he wanted a bot for a chat bot for Twitch that can control VLC. I'm like, well, it's kind of weird that I'm working on this and I'm not on Twitch. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to work on this, let's just live stream it. So I've got about an hour, maybe an hour and a half today, 2 hours tops. I can work on this. But yeah, I'm just going to jump right over to sharing my screen. I just started this project last night. It's very basic. There's not a lot going on in it yet. A lot of debug code. It's a very early project. You're going to see the nitty gritty on this stuff. All right. So without further ado, let's just jump in. Like I said, I'm just going to assume my audio is good because no one's saying otherwise. All right. So I'm actually working on Visual Studio and working on Visual Studio on Windows. I created a brand new project, brand new. You'll see it's even using all the new template stuff. And I've got my global namespaces, which is basically empty right now. But this is the one library that I did start on last night that actually has some stuff in it. So this is actually the code to connect to VLC. So if you launch VLC with the right command parameters, you can then it opens a port and listens on that port, and you can read and write to that port. And so this is some very basic code to just go and find the path where VLC is installed. So nothing really there. Go find VLC. And also go and connect to VLC. This will let you specify. I kind of wanted this bot not to be just tied to one instance. So I wanted you to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to have multiple instances of VLC running. Hello, Pedro. How's it going? Is my sound okay? You're the first one to say hi or talk. Hopefully my sound's good. No one's confirmed. Increasing the font. Absolutely. Is that better? Good. All right. Going with yes. All right. Um, More. All right. We're at 150. Let's go to 175. I haven't done this in so long. I'm not used to what's a good size. So nice and big. All right. So yeah, all I'm doing is I'm going and I'm hunting and finding that path, right? Um, so go check the registry, find out where VLC is installed. Make it check if it's there. Yay, it's there. We've got VLC. Now that lets it to where I can launch VLC. And there's a couple different things that I want to do on this. I wanted to make sure if this bot crashes, it can reconnect to the same exact instance of VLC. So whenever you tell it to launch, the first thing I'm going to do is try connecting to that instance of VLC, because if it does, then you're good. Why relaunch it? You don't need two instances of it, and then they're both trying to use the same port. That's a hot mess. So connect, launch the new process if it doesn't connect, which just gets the VLC path, passes in. I want to remote control this. Here's the host and port. So really, really basic stuff there. After that, my connecting is really simple. Just check and see if we're connected to the client. If not, we are going to connect, get the streams, and set up some stream readers. That's about it. Now I do have this read data. This thing class, I am going to put more into it. And when we start interacting with the API, you'll see why. It's a console API, and I want to clean it up. So right now I have read data and send data. The read data is just constantly going, but I want this to be a little bit nicer to where if I send a message to it, I get the response back at the same time. So we're going to have to write some interesting code here. So that's going to be fun. A lot of this is actually going to be spending time parsing that. I don't know if I'll get to the actual chat part yet, but yeah. All right. So starting out, this is how it works. Of course, hello world's still there, but I instantiate a new controller and I await launching it, okay? After that, you can just send it messages. Now, a lot of these messages I want to do differently. But right now, I'm just going to pass it a playlist and say, enqueue this playlist. It's Doctor Who. That's what I'm playing with right now. I don't know if the audio is going to work, which is probably fine. I'll hear it, but I don't know if you will. And I can send messages to just enqueue the path. If you do add, originally, I mean, we can just do add because add will auto play it. But I clear it first. So, and let's build some of this out because just sending a message called clear is just weird. So a lot of these things I want to be like public async task, clear playlist, right? Await send message, clear, right? That's what it should do. I want to build this out a bit. Also, to find these things, if we want to know what this thing can do, we can ask it for help. So I'm going to remove a bunch of this stuff because we actually don't need it. I need to build in some delays. You'll notice I have delays everywhere because if you send too many commands too fast, it doesn't work. Now, the fix to that is I'm going to start waiting for the response of me sending a command. So I don't have arbitrary delays. But let's actually close a lot of this stuff out. And right now, what I have it set to, since we're not passing anything in, like I said, this just started last night, lots of debug code of me building this thing out. It's just going to console.readline and send whatever message we pass into that console and just send it on. So it gives us a nice little REPL to actually play with this. So let me click debug. It's going to pop open. Hello tells me the path. See VLC launch. Yay, VLC's open. Now, anything I type in this, I can just say like help. That is the exact output of help. So if you do things like playlist, you're going to get this plus, minus, 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 and then what it was. And then that's the data. This is not going to be fun to parse. I'm not going to parse the help command. What I am going to do, though, is we're just going to copy and paste this thing out. Oops, wrong hotkey. We're going to copy and paste that out. I did the Mac copy. And we're just going to put this into VLC, I don't know, VS Code. Right? We'll do a, and I might still have it in here from me playing with it last night. Nope. All right. There. Now we have this as a reference to come back and look at. So add, if we add it, it'll auto start playing. If you enqueue, it just adds it to the bottom and does not start playing that. Originally, I was adding a directory instead of the playlist, and then the playlist functionality is 100% broken. So it's a lot easier to like set up whatever we're going to play, build out our playlist, save it, and then just load the playlist. All right. So let's start working on some of this API. I'm going to first, let's get adding the playlist in there because that drives me nuts as well. Public async task, load playlist. Oh, that's close. Let's do, I do have Copilot on, if you didn't notice. Add playlist, we'll do add, and then we'll also do enqueue. Did I spell enqueue right? I think I did. But we're going to go copy and paste it just in case. No, I did not. I did there. I didn't there. All right. Perfect. So now, and these are just like kind of a one-way thing. So let's actually just run these, and then you can see the output that this thing's going to do. So that way you can see how it's going to be to start building this thing. All right. So first off, and then play pause is really weird. I'm going to leave some of this debug stuff in here for now. So first what we're going to do is we're just going to do await controller dot clear playlist. Await controller dot add playlist, and we're just going to pass in that playlist path. All right. Now first I'm gonna just wait. Task dot delay 100. Just because we, like I said, we need some sort of a little delay, or else that doesn't work. All right. Let's run this and see where we're at. And like I said, it's not going to relaunch VLC this time because it's going to connect. And hey, check that out. Oh, you actually are getting sound, but I have it muted. It's set to go for that, but it's okay. You don't need to hear Doctor Who starting up. All right, so I'm going to pause that. Now, there's a couple, actually, there's a couple things that I don't like with this API. So if I just say play, which is a valid thing, it's like type pause to continue. Why? Because I paused it. Play doesn't override that. Pause is a toggle. That's something I don't like in this API. If I say play, you better play. But you'll see how what it does is I get things in between and then play return 0. No error. But it did error. So it's kind of like, I don't know. We need to keep track of everything that is done in between each command. So if I type playlist right now, it's going to list out the current playlist. And it's not playing. Oh, which I thought that worked before. All right, now that it's playing, I can get access to the playlist, which is like kind of weird. All right, but again, it's in an odd format. So we're going to have to write something to give us this playlist. And if you want to know what index you're at, there's nothing to get the index. So we're going to be creative with this. There was this whole like title, which you can just apparently run. Currently playing title 0 of 0. Thanks. And I can just do. So there's some weird things with this thing that we're going to have to work around because it just doesn't work. However, there is something in here I saw. If I get title, this will work. All right. So that's going to tell us this. So now we can check which index we're in because I can do, I think, it's go to. I can do like, and I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see. Come on. Let's just do that. All right. So if I go here and I do go to 4, it's going to go to episode 4, season 1, episode 4. All right. Like it should. Pretty cool. But if I, but like, and I can do next, and next will do it. But it's, I don't know. I don't like how I can't see what index we are to see what's coming up next. If you were to like ask a command, what's the next thing? It should tell you. I mean, Chatbot should do that type of stuff. All right. So let's start getting in and actually parsing through this code. Let's write some code now. So now that we have an interactive, I like having this interactive REPL though, because it's really nice to try these things out and get it going. But let's start parsing outputs. One of the things that I want to do is I want to make play always work. Okay. Now, when I did play, you'll notice there's a few things that happen in between. Status change, status pause. When I was doing it earlier, I was getting a lot less, I thought. So, oh no, I was still getting all that. Status change, all this stuff. So, I need to, for certain commands, some commands wait until it's that command play colon, and then it's complete. So everything in between is what's going on. Whereas other ones, if I was just to type pause, I'm going to get something very different. All right. No, pause does the same thing. No, it doesn't. Look, the stuff comes after. The status change happened after, which is also weird. So it didn't do anything in between. But again, I can just type pause. I can type status. No, not until it's, if it's not playing, it's not going to tell you anything. And I don't know why. I don't know why. All right. And actually, this font's probably too small. I'm paying now that I'm thinking about it. And this one. All right. So we have some bigger fonts there. All right. So let's make that a lot smaller. So let's do a couple things. Let's make play pause toggle work, right? Let's just throw in those commands and let's start getting to where we can actually parse things for them to finish. And actually, let's do something else. Async task string. We're going to do a send command. That way we can pass in the command. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I am going to change this a little bit. Right now, I have it to where I just did the pattern I thought I was going to want, where I had a message received, and you could subscribe to that, but I don't like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in a queue. And we are going to read through the queue. I think the right way to do this. So we're going to need some sort of a. I wonder if we want to do it a queue because we're not just going to necessarily. And we're also going to have to tell it what it's looking for. Because what I need to do is we need to make it to where for these, let's just do it for the one instance first. We'll do playlists or help commands later. Let's start with play. I send play. We wait for play : to come back. Okay. And then we're going to capture all of the text in between, well, all of the lines in between. And actually, we will make this a string array. All right. So it's going to actually. Think that's what I want. All right. So what we need to do is we need something that's just going to add these things. We're going to start with just a list. Why not? Um, all right. So we're going to need to do message queue, message queue dot add, and we're going to add that line. Actually, I'm going to undo that because I do want to leave that console.write line. It's really useful when you're doing REPL style. All right. So we're going to add that line. It's fine. It's all got all the null stuff. I don't think it'll ever be null. How would it be null if it read the line? I don't know. All right. So this part, like we were showing, is going to get tricky because I send a command, and then I wait for that, and I need to get everything in between. So I wonder if I have something like, I don't want to keep looping through that thing. I almost need to do something to where I can trigger, I'm waiting for a value. So yeah, let's just, I don't know if this will work. It should be fine multi-threaded wise, I hope. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw string command end. Now, before we send, I am just going to be interesting, not send message. Let's do this down at the command. What we're going to do is we're going to have the send command, right? Before we send a command, we are going to do message queue.clear. All right, then we're going to send a command. Before we send the command, we're going to say command end equals all right. Then we're going to send the message. And we're also going to do task completion source. And I'm going to put a timeout on this. Let's be honest, this should not wait forever. Time completion source. All right. All right, so we're going to do that. We're just going to do that so that way that's happy. Now, that should set. Done, done, done. And we're just going to just make it happy for no nonsense. All right, so now when reading line, we need to do something a little bit different for processing this. All right, so void. Okay, that's kind of cool. Starts with title. No, but I like it. All right, so we're going to do if command end command found dot it dot. No, isn't there like completed dot? Okay, is completed. And then if it's all done, we're just going to return. All right. And now we don't need to deal with this. We're going to look for starts with the command end. This we're going to have to build this thing out, right? At that point, we're just going to say command end found dot try set result message. Now we also have to look for other terminators for the playlist stuff, but we'll get there. All right, so it's going to add the line. Then we're just going to say process message. All right, so we're going to process that line. And now we can await message send. And now what we will do is we will await command found dot task, return message queue dot to array message queue dot equals that, and then we'll do message queue dot clear, and we will return result. Okay. So now for our clear, we can do send command, comma, right? Perfect. Now what we can do is we can do a play command. And what we can do is, whoa, what in the world did that just do? We can do play, all right? But what we can do is we can now look through that. If results dot any x dot contains pause. All right. So if anything says, hey, we're paused. Await send command pause. Return, oh no, await play. And actually, no, we're just going to just send the same command again because we don't want to do that twice. And honestly, we can send it silently this time and not pay attention. Just be like, play. All right. So now that we have that, we have a way to, I hope, do a play pause. So what we're going to do is our thing is paused right now. So now what we're going to do, instead of doing all this clear playlist stuff, and I should be able to remove all these delays because now it's going to actually pay attention. I should be able to just say await controller dot play. Now when I restart this, this should start playing. No. Uh-oh. Oh, it's going. And it played this time instead of that ridiculous, hey, look, pause to continue. I don't agree. We're just going to play. And actually, I don't have to call play again because the pause will actually toggle that. Now we can play pause. Now we actually wait until that command runs before it happens. So all of these add playlists, I don't remember what those do. So let's bring them back and we'll just run those. We do have clear playlist should work. Add to playlist. Let's see. All right, let's go look at our output because that worked. All right. And it did lots of stuff this time. All right, so when we said clear worked, right? Clear changed it. Trying to add return 0. All right, so add does return. So now on that, we can do our add to playlist. And we can now look for done. And we are just going to go out on a limb here and saying Q does the same thing. Now, I don't want to. All right, I like that. We could simplify, simplify calling this send command if we wanted to do something to where it would be like in Q, like parse this for space, and then just if there is nothing passed in, just add the semicolon at the end. But I don't know. Maybe we will. Why not? Let's do a send command without an end command. Now what we're going to do is we will do rc equals command dot or string dot split and split on space first or default. Var command end equals. That's clever, but I don't like that syntax. Needs to learn. I use the fancy stuff. Now I can return send command. But the fact that it knew we needed that semicolon, or I mean the colon, that's pretty awesome. All right. So now I just want to see if it'll work. It looks like it's working. Clear worked. Add returned. Play worked. It worked. And honestly, we need a play pause command. It's just pause though. Okay. Using Copilot is awesome. All right. I don't even know if there was a stop command. I didn't see a stop. Oh, there was a stop. No. That's pretty fun. Let's see if it'll just do next. Oh, I did hit the wrong key. Next. Oh, except it's prev. It's close though. It's close. That's awesome. All right. So now that's just fun. Go to playlist, not index. I'm trying to think what to name that. I don't like that go to command. I want to play at, let's just do, I like it being explicit. It's starting to do the fancy stuff though for me. Just had to change that command. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's actually working quite well. All right. So we're able to pause or get the data we need. The next thing we need to do, let's run this. And let's start playing with our commands. Let's look at one of these that we need to parse. There's a couple that I want to do. Adev. Wasn't it adev? It's not going to parse right because it parses funny and I didn't do the timeout. All right. So let's do, what we need to do is we need to do a timeout, right? We're going to say a timeout is 1 second. That's a very long one. All right. So task. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to, no, okay. The way I tend to normally do these is I will do var timeout task equals task dot delay, and I'll say, right, at 1 second. Now, how I handle these is if I say task dot when any, x dot is any, oops, sorry, what am I doing? Comma delay, or timeout task. All right. And if you don't want to save this thing off, instead of doing that, I can also do this. And I'd say var task equals, this will now tell us which task ended first. So I can say if task equals command.found task, guess what, guys? That was right. But I could say if it's not equal, then that's clever, but no. I'll do command and found dot try. Why are not IntelliSensing me? Isn't there a try set canceled or something? All right, and then we'll also throw, we'll just return for now. All right, that should work. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. All right. Now let's go look at our, it was an A, probably a dev. No, it was a dev, right? But I'm not getting any output. That's what's bothering me on that. Like, where's my output? What this? I still have that code in there to send message. Oh, I was doing send messages. Those weren't even doing the commands. That's right. We now added a timeout. As well it should. Why am I getting 0 response? I don't know why that's not working. Let's try. Let's bring this up. Okay, I'm going to remove that breakpoint because that's going to drive me nuts. All right, so nothing's working. Okay, the output's not working because that's working. It's actually responding to commands. I'm just not getting the outputs. Something crashed. What crashed? All right, so we're reading a line, we get a line, reading a line, getting a line, reading a line, getting a line. Dang it, I canceled. If I pause it, okay. It's my output. Why? What broke? So something in the code I've done recently, process Q, could be crashing. But it still should output that. Oh, I told it that might. I'm null checking that. There. Let's restart that. This is weird. This is very odd. I wonder why we lost output. It's totally working though. Like the commands are working. Why? I mean, in the end, oh, we're still snagging. That output. Nothing's happening in process. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Wonder why output stopped. Am I doing something? No, because I send. Whoa, why did it add like 100 spaces there? I'm just curious. How does it just all of a sudden stop? This is driving me nuts. How? All right, so here's what we're going to try. Let's just try removing that. And so we're only doing it through the REPL. All right, so it's something with my send command. So something's getting hung up. Let's remove process message. Let's see what happens there. I bet there's something in process that's messing. Something's hanging. Hey, what in the world? Was it really that? Now I'm null checking that. Okay. So it's something with process. So my process, something in here is hanging up. Okay. We've deduced it down. We know. What in process is going wrong? See if that was it. And we can, no, I don't want to process that on a different thread. When we start doing threading, we're going to have lots of issues. Oh, you can activate. Yeah, I'm shocked I wasn't getting exception there. It's true. I could do that instead of try catching. But I don't think I'm getting exception. I'm getting a hang. So that's why nothing was coming up. And that hang or that crash happened when I wasn't processing the messages because then I was returning null. So you're right. I just write so many try catches and I'm coding. I don't know why, just to test it. No. What in there is hanging? What could possibly hang? Right. Okay, okay. I know what it is. I know what it is. All right. We need to clear this thing out. Actually, after here, we need to clear that out. And actually, we need to clear it no matter what. So, what we're going to do after, all right, which that should never be null. We're also then going to say the this dot command end. I'll check that. Equals empty. There we go. That will fix the problem. We were still looking for the previous commands that ran, and so it was hunting for those. So we need to make sure that we clear those up when we're done. Maybe, but no, but that shouldn't have hung. What is going on with process? It could be. I thought my old. Because that should have done it too. I don't know. I am really confused as to what this could be. Let's turn on those exception things. Let's see if there's something crazy happening that I just don't see. There's one of these, even though it's really tiny and you can't see. Thought there was one that I can set. I don't know which one it is I have to set. I thought that there was one that you could just do that's like catch all, even caught exceptions. Common language exceptions? Those are all checked. There's nothing not checked, actually. Thought there was, I don't remember. It's all right. And I work in these tooling. It just makes no sense, though. Like, just in case it's ever an empty line. All right, so here's what we're going to do. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to async this puppy. The reason is I can then do that same exact delay, and I can see if one fails. Now, because it's a threading issue. I know this is a threading issue. It has to be. No. Close. I'm going to give it an entire second. This should not be the hard part. All right. Let's put a breakpoint there. If that ever happens. Wait. Did I not use when? Oh, when any. You're right. That should be when any. Thank you. That's what I thought I used, but yeah. When all doesn't work anyway because it didn't return a single task. So, hey, whoa. It did it. Why? Command end is empty. Okay. So it's the play command. Our play command is breaking it. Why? All right. I wonder if it's that. Let's debug in here. All right. Clear. Clean that out. Add. Of course it's going to time out. I'm debugging. All right. So let's not debug. Let's print line. It's so much cleaner. All right. So then you have timeout code. All right. Actually, that's okay. Hey, thanks for the subscription. Oh, I forgot I have really weird overlays right now. Clearing command. I need to just like redo my entire everything at some point. I just haven't had the time. All right, so let's run that again. This time, we'll just read the outputs. All right, command end play. We didn't get any of our Y commands, right? I removed that breakpoint, and I should not have. But I didn't see it in the output either. Oh, no, I did. Do that. Still got it. Still got it. Okay, so something really weird's going with play. So I call play, play returned. How does that take so long to run? And how did that end get cleared out already? All right, so let's read through these. All right, clearing command end. Hey, Fierce Kittens, welcome. All right, let's see how this works. So if I'm looking at that, I'm fighting the craziest bug right now and writing a VLC chatbot. The VLC CLI kind of is crap. All right, so it clears the end, it sets the end, it gets it. Why? What's the line coming in? And then at that point, it's locked up. No, it's not locked up. Me adding that extra code actually made it not lock up. But the real question is, why did that ever happen? You know what? We're going with it, guys. I don't know why it's pauses. I don't feel like debugging that. I want to actually keep coding and not debug weird threading issues. All right, so let's try this again. So let's see if our CLI is working better now. We've got that. I can now do a dev, which should tell me the audio devices. So that's what I've got to start parsing next. Isn't that awesome? Now, I'm just curious if that dash means that's what's set. So that's what my audio is currently set to. Let me just switch it to this. If I do that, I'll start hearing the audio. Oops, did not mean to stop that. Let's start that again. Yeah, and it's weird. This threading bug doesn't even make sense. Like, I wasn't even doing threading when it became an issue. I wasn't. I had no threading. I added threading to fix it. Since when does that ever fix problems? All right, so a dev tells us that dash first, I'm guessing is telling me that that's the default. So if I do a dev and then, ooh, I did not want that B. Let's delete that. I'm now telling it to switch to that device. So I should start hearing, yes, I now hear Doctor Who. All right, so now let's run a dev again. Nope, the dash is still there. It doesn't tell you what it's even set at. Oh, no, it does. It does. It has a star. All right. I am so ready to start parsing this. Okay. That's not looking good. I need to change this audio because I've got too much noise going through my headphones. We're going to do there. This is the first episodes of the 2005. Yes. It's actually the oops, wrong button. It is a playlist of all of them. But since I keep starting the playlist over and over again, it keeps going back to that one. All right. Let's stop that. I had no idea. I don't care. I had no idea there was kids dancing behind me. My background removal is working, and they brought me the cat, and I don't know why. All right. So now we have Chatbot. Well, we have commands working again, including my REPL. Let's start parsing that crazy multi-line nonsense. And honestly, it's not consistent. So I'm trying to even think how to do this, right? So if I do playlist, I have to unpause it. The playlist does, look it, see how that one says uppercase playlist? And then it's like end of lowercase playlist. When we did a dev, just says a dev, end of a dev, cases match. So just doing string is going to be fun because I have to check case insensitive because they're not consistent. Makes me sad. Not looking forward to that. All right. And then also the a dev. Well, let's just start with a dev because a dev is consistent. Yeah. Constant. Just every part of this has been like, what is this weird stuff? All right. So instead of a send command like that, just we still could do the same exact thing. Luckily, we did specify what the end command is that we're looking for. So, and luckily, the end has been case sensitive and masked. Hey, thanks for the follow, I don't know how Salasui. Sui. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry, Salasui. I think that's right. Yeah, no problem. Go do house stuff. I should be doing house stuff, but I've actually only got like another 20 minutes, and then I got to go because taking the kids to see Sonic today. Really, really excited to go see Sonic. I love the first one. Second one's gonna be fun. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. I just I just instinctively just hit tab now. Yes, of course. You know what you'd want. That was my kid in the background saying he loves Sonic and he can't wait. All right, so public, let's just start with this and say, let's get, let's just actually create the class first. So we are going to have playlist. It's just a list of strings, actually. We're just going to go with that. Never mind. So up here where we're doing this play next, let's do public async task. I'm going to a list. I don't care. Lists are where it's at. Not consistent because I have IEnumerable somewhere else. We'll change them all to lists. Get play. All right. Actually, what's it do if it's paused? So it's playing. Oh, I didn't realize I stopped it. We're just going to go with this. All right. Get current playlist. And what we're going to do is we will first start with saying send command Did it close my window? It closed my window. Actually, on my send command where I freak out and say, hey, you know what? Let's return the results. Let's just send everything over the past second. That way you can have something to debug off of. I think that's fair. All right, so now, for now, we'll just say... Perfect. I like it. I like it. All right. So now we get our current, and we can just return response. For now, that's going to be good enough because I need to go and see what this thing actually does. So let's pause it. Type in playlist. Playlist. So sometimes it's going to say playlist returned that, right? Let's pause it. Oh, unpause it. No, I still get that playlist returned. All right. So that's good. That's good. That's good. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to toggle play pause. I'm going to do it if it returns me nothing. So let's, oh, we do have in-queue playlist. All right, so we're going to change all of this. Let's just start with normal. Let's start with normal. All right, and I actually don't even need that await play because await controller dot get play current playlist, right? Now that gets called, so we can start hacking on that crap. All right, so we have get current playlist. We get the response. We're going to need to parse this puppy. All right, so now for each var, what we'll do is we'll do var and I'm actually worried about this being localized. To work around that, could you cache the playlist when the user adds one? Yeah, what if the UI got changed and messed with? Hold on one second. I'm getting a phone call. One sec.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
All right, back. So let's parse one of these complicated ones. And could I cache the playlist when the user adds one? Yes, but what if they just do like add file? And then I don't know what files was even done. The order, if you add a directory, it's going to figure things out because add and a directory is valid. and it'll find everything inside that directory. So it's weird. For now, I'm not going to toggle play pause yet. We'll get there. What we need to do is we need to write something that can find and parse these blocks. And it's going to indent them in. Yes. It space indents though. So the first thing it does is the dash. I wonder what it can return aside from playlist. I have no idea. I'm going to make it work for this instance because I know that works. It's still playing. That's funny. All right. Media. Playlists just have some weird data in it, so I'm just going to resave it again. All right, replace it. That looks better. All right. I fixed all those. Oh, well. So we're going with that. This looks good. Let's start parsing some of this. And actually, the audio devices might be simpler to start out now that I'm really looking at it because it's less data to go through. And we're going to have to create an object for that as well. All right. That looks good. And those, our thing does start with, right? For our process. Yes, it is start with. So it's not just any random string, which will prevent like someone having a dev colon somewhere inside a play or playlist colon inside of a playlist won't matter. All right. So what we're gonna do, and I'm just gonna do it inline here, and we will then start dealing with it. Do we have this running? All right. So this is the block we're parsing. And it doesn't have the dashes. How would I set it back to default then? I have no idea. I have no idea how that's going to work. That's all right. We are going to, maybe I just say default. Oh, did I stop that? All right, let's just do. Not on default. So you have to send whatever's in the front. There's nothing in the front. I can never set it back to default. All right. So for this, we are going to find the line that starts with that. Oops. Copy twice cancels it. So, yes, let's continue on this. Oh,
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
kids, they're fun. Just hand me a phone right in the middle of live streaming that's on speakerphone. Sorry about that. All right. I don't know if we'll have time to finish this because, like I said, I've got to go in like 10 minutes. But let's try parsing this thing. This is just a weird thing to parse. And I wish it was consistent. I wish we had. How would you star all the way down? It's the whole point of this. Oh, I didn't have the whole thing in there. All right, I just want to have it in front of me as we're parsing this. All right, so that is what we have. No, I don't want those extra stars. That's ugly. It's ugly. All right, so we have that. We're just going to ignore default because actually, I'm curious. No, it's not running. Nope. So yeah, it's showing me it's on. What if I do just dash? I can't get it back to that one. Not supported. So weird. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We're just not going to support that. So we are going to ignore that for right now. What we're going to do is we need to hunt through and find this puppy, right? So, what, Chase? Cool. Hey, there's a kid playing Overwatch behind me. He's telling about the new update. We could talk about that a little bit later, bud. Almost done here. All right. No, that's actually kind of cool. VDev matches that off the ADev for audio devices. It's so clever. That's not what we want. What we're going to do is we're going to need to get the data, trim the initial pipes, get everything that has a pipe. Just thinking the most efficient way to parse this. I hate parsing strings. This stuff's just never fun. Because I could just say, find the first line that equals that, right? And then everything after that, I'll do it until I get to the end. And what if it doesn't have any, right? It has to have something. But in this case, we'll just go with, yeah, we'll have to play a pause thing. If for now, we're just going to say var start. That just excites me so much when it's smart enough to do that. So awesome. That banging noise. I don't know if you guys could hear that. All right. If not, all right. So what we're doing, what's complaining about? Yes, so dumb. It is false. It's a Boolean. All right. So if it's not in there, all right. I like it. I like it. I like it. Now, if not is in brackets, continue, right? Continue to or in the brackets. All right. So now we know we're in a bracket. Now we can just say if. Do I just assume they're going to start with the pipe? So I just trim off the pipe? I think that's fair. We're just going to trim character, right? We'll just check. All right. That's actually clever. Why is that yelling at me? How? Okay. This is interesting, right? Send command returns back a list of strings, not the non-nullable kind, right? Line is not null here. Oh, it can't assign because it's in the var. That's fine. I don't care. All right. So now what we want to do is we're going to substring. And we're going to split on, right? And then equals line. No. Okay, yeah, you can trim it. Perfect. All right, so that will get nothing for that one, which could be empty. Totally fine. Then after that, it's going to give us all of this, right? And yeah, let's then check and say if name equals that. If name ends with star, is current equals false. All right, now we've got all the things we need to make an audio device. And we're actually just going to move it right outside of. Okay. ID string name public bool is current. All right. And actually, can I just do. Is that right? I actually don't use records, but I want to. What's that saying? Well, fix it for me. You typed it. How do I properly use records? I want to use records. Okay. Init. That's what I do. Oh, so okay, that is enough. That's totally enough. That's awesome. Okay, we're going with that. So now this is going to return a list of audio device, right? List. Destiny. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll say if it's not null. Wait, what? Oh, okay. ID name. Okay, the other syntax should work too. I'm sorry, but that's ugly. I'm switching it. We're going to that. because I don't know. I hate constructor forcing. That's technically more code, but I like it. All right, we're just going with it. We're gonna. Oops, wrong undo. No. Oh well. My copy paste. I don't know what's going on. This is technically less code, so I'm going with it. All right. This is cool. Let's see if it works. Audio devices 0. All right. No, what I. What did I call that thing? Public async task, get audio devices. Oh, output audio devices. Come on, IntelliSense, that's on you. Get one. Did I do that backwards? I did it right the first time, but my whole undo nonsense. All right, try that again. Audio devices, we have 4. Huh. Me trimming that. We're going to debug that crap because that should be right. Nope. Wait, what? Oh. Oh. I'm splitting really weird. Because splitting on dash doesn't work. All right. We can do this. All right. Okay, so if it does that, we're then going to find with the playlists that playlists still could technically not work with that. We're doing it. Space dash that. And really, it just needs to be the first index of it because, yeah. Name is right. What's our line? Okay, no, next one. Name now has that. There we go. That's much better. Is current. We got it. Yeah, I had to split on. You're right, Pedro. Sorry, I didn't see the chat quick enough. But yes, that's exactly what I need to do, which isn't quite right. It's still not right. The reason is it's first instance of it. And can't I tell split options only to do it once? I can't remember. No, I can't remember on that. No, I can tell it to trim entries, which makes sense. I don't have to call trim again. But I only need the first instance of it. So really, let's just change it towards right because I'm going to reuse this. Var equals line dot index of. Everyone splits on dots. All right. So now instead of that, my substring 1 comma -1, and then this is just going to be I think that's right. Oh, I need to do the +3. Did you notice that? It was so right. It offered +3 because that's 3 characters long. So smart. That's awesome. That's right. I totally messed up. And it was right. And I'm like, no, why would I +3? Of course I +3. All right. So now that's going to work for splitting playlists as well. All right. I'm going to put this code up on GitHub maybe later today. So if anyone wants to play with it, because this is kind of fun. It's working and it's pretty cool. I'm getting somewhere. We're going to refactor this thing out. So that way, yeah, I can use it again for playlists. And yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm happy. I like where it's getting. It's getting somewhere. It's an ugly API to deal with, but sometimes you just got to deal with ugly APIs, and we're making it work. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I'll work on this again later. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it tonight. Maybe not. Depends on how I feel. If I want to play video games or code string parsers in my Saturday. Sometimes I'm crazy and parse strings. But all right. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I'm gonna end there. I'm done. I'm gonna go get ready for a movie. Enjoy your guys' Saturday. Have fun, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.